Welcome to Life Devotions, and thank you for joining me today. I'd like to talk to you about something called dishonest gain. I know that kind of maybe wakes you up a bit like, oh no, what's he going to talk about? But no, this is good. You see, the Lord is such a wonderful provider. I'm so grateful that I grew up with a mother and a father who trusted the Lord to provide for us. And I am so grateful that we have seen His hand of providence. That means care, protection, overseeing you. I've seen the Lord's hand of care all my life. And it's so good for us to live this way every day. And even though my father was a man who worked day and night, literally, he came home maybe 3:30, 4:30 every morning, because he did all of his radio programs in the night when he would be undisturbed, and he burned the candle on two sides, so to speak. And my father worked very hard, but my father trusted God miraculously to provide, even though he worked really hard. So you can work hard and still rely upon the Lord and not just your own ability to provide. And I think that's a healthy balance to keep, It's not that we say we rely on the Lord and do nothing and then just wait for it all to be handed to us. No, the Bible warns against that behavior in Proverbs when it gives the example of the sluggard or the ant and how the ant labors to provide. So it's so important that we are people that know how to work hard. My father, I'm grateful, taught us how to work hard, For when I started working, I was quite young. I started working when I was 14, and I would work in a printing shop. And my father had a big printing shop, and I would go work there as a young man. And to do a 10, 12, 14-hour day was normal. And I didn't have the concept in those days that I'm working for money. I had the concept that I was working for the work that needed to be done, for the good of the job. As if I was the owner of the company and I'm working for the company to do well. I think it's very healthy when we don't just work for money, but where we work really to further that which our hand provides. That, in other words, like Joseph, it says that all that his hand touched began to prosper, and he was causing the house of Potiphar and all that he owned to begin to prosper because he was working there. And that is a good example there of God blessing and providing, that the Lord was making Joseph very successful because he worked hard and God made what he did to prosper. So I want to encourage you with that, but I want to read you from 1 Peter chapter 5, if I may, yeah? 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 1. The elders who are among you, I exhort, I who am a fellow elder and a witness of the sufferings of Christ, and also a partaker of the glory that will be revealed. Shepherd the flock of God which is among you, serving as overseers, not by compulsion, but willingly, not for dishonest gain, but eagerly. So you can see where I got the title of this devotion from. So it says here, shepherd the flock of God which is among you, serving as overseers, not by compulsion, not because you're forced to, but willingly, and not for dishonest gain, but eagerly, nor as being lords over those entrusted to you, but being examples to the flock. And when the chief shepherd appears, you will receive the crown of glory that does not fade away. Likewise, you younger people, submit yourselves to your elders. Yes, all of you be submissive to one another and clothed with humility. For God resists the proud, but He gives grace to the humble. Therefore, humble yourself under the mighty hand of God, that He may exalt you in due time. And again, I'd go back to Genesis 39, where Joseph humbled himself in laboring there as a slave in the house of Potiphar. And the Lord in due time exalted him and made him the Lord of that house. And everything that was under the care of Joseph prospered and was blessed. But it was all prosperity for Potiphar. One thing I've learned in life, I should rephrase that. One thing I believe in this life, learned means as if I've got it all. No, I'm still maturing in all of this. But One thing I really believe, that when you live to do good for others, God does good for you. Like Joseph, he did good for Potiphar's house, God did good for Joseph. You understand? When you live just to do good for yourself, then you're on your own mostly. But if you do good for others, then the Lord will do good to you. When I started in this country in 1986 here in Britain, I went everywhere ministering, and I had lunches for pastors to bless them and gave them books and bless them and so. And I'd come home to our little bitty house. We lived in the city of Bath, and I would one time prayed. I said, Lord, I come home and I don't have anything. And he said, you help them, you take care of them, I take care of you. And I live by that. If we live to love and bless others, then God will bless us. And of course, what Peter's talking about, he's talking to the leaders of the church, but I believe this applies to every one of us. Don't do things just because you have to. It's your job. Okay, I don't want to go to work, but I go to work, and I have to do all of this, but I don't really want to do it. Don't have that kind of heart and mind. It's really unhealthy to live that way. It's not good for your nervous system, your emotions. It's terrible for your attitude. No, do what you do as unto the Lord with gratitude and without complaining, it says in Philippians 2. Do everything as joy. What Joseph did to Potiphar, he did as unto the Lord. And I want to encourage you, don't serve in whatever capacity within your home, within your job, within your church, within any area of your life under compulsion because you have to. Well, I don't really want to be here, but okay, I'm here. No, don't have those thoughts. Don't have those attitudes. Some people say, they live this way. I don't really want to be here, but okay, I have to be here. I don't want to be married to you, but I have to. Oh my goodness, who would want to think such a way? But that could come to any of us. That negative mindset can hit you, and you have to shake it off like it's the devil himself. No, I'm going to serve the Lord with gladness. One of the 5 sins of Israel is that they would not serve the Lord with gladness. And I tell you, whatever situation you're in, do it as unto the Lord. Whatever situation. Don't do it under compulsion, but do it willingly. Don't do it for selfish gain. Don't do it where it says here, for dishonest gain. What's dishonest? Your motives aren't really pure or not honest. You're not there for the benefit and the blessing of them. You're just doing it for what you can get out of it. That's what I would call dishonest gain. I tell you, I want to do things willingly from the heart as unto the Lord and see God's favor and blessing on me as you see in Joseph there in Genesis 39, and then let God be glorified through it all. But when I come back to the motive concerning dishonest gain, it does apply to money. Money is quite, it is sadly has the heart of many precious souls. You know, if money is your master, it is a cruel master. Money is never to be your master, it's only to be your servant. God is your master, Jesus is your master and your Lord, not money. Don't live for money, live for God. It says in Proverbs, live for money and down you go. Live for God and up you go. Don't live for money. Yes, money is something we need in this world. It's like this body. I need this body, but I don't want to live for this body. I want to live for God. And the body is for God. Finances, you need it, but let it be for God. And let God help you and train you. Train your motives, train your intentions, train your management skills, your due diligence skills, your trustworthiness when it comes to money. Let me read you something that really took my heart quite strong. It's in 1 Thessalonians chapter 2 in the Living Bible. Listen to this, starting at verse 4. For we speak as messengers from God, trusted by Him to tell the truth. We change His message not one bit to suit the taste of those who hear it. For we serve God alone, who examines our hearts and deepest thoughts. Never once did we try to win you with flattery, as you well know, and God knows we were not just pretending to be your friends so that you would give us money. Can you hear that? In other words, what if you didn't get the money? What if you didn't get it? What if you worked real hard and you didn't get it? Do you go all anti or dark? that shows you money has you. But if you say, Father, I trust you. Father, you said that you honor those who labor honestly with a good motive. I tell you, friends, when you learn this, God will always provide over and above what you could ever earn through your own efforts. God will always give you more than what you could earn if you do what you do honestly from the heart to benefit and bless others. When you keep a clean heart, when you don't become dishonest in your heart, in your motives. In other words, you're all sweet because you're going to get the money. But if you didn't get the money, all that sweetness would show to be false, would not be sincere, not true. That's what I would call dishonest gain. And I'm not talking about allowing yourself to be misused by people who don't respect those who have labored for them and paid them as they should. No, God has a correction for that, but I can tell you the truth, if you go through it, God will deal with it. If you keep your heart sweet, if you keep your heart pure, God will deal with it. God will provide for you. One time I had worked real hard and I had the expectation as normal that I would get some payment, and I didn't get it. And Virginia and I were staying somewhere with our children, and we had 2 rooms. But because of that situation, I said to Virginia when I came back from work, I said, darling, maybe we could just move all the children in with us and reduce some of our expenses here. And she said, did they not honor you? I said, well, maybe they forgot about it or so, but it's okay. You know, it's okay. We're used to it. We're going to have a good time. She said, okay. And I went down to the reception where we were staying, and I talked with the gentleman there, and he said, okay, well, Mr. Maasbach, let me get back with you. I said, no, sir, it's okay. Let's just let that one room go, and then we can reduce some of our responsibility here. And so he said, Mr. Maasbach, I'll come and see you in a few minutes. He came to me a few minutes and he said, Mr. Maasbach, we're taking that off of your bill. We're giving that to you. People I didn't know, and God gave me favor where I had not deserved it or earned it, because my heart stayed clean. And I learned a bit of an important lesson in life. And sometimes that is not easy to do, is it? To keep your heart sweet and pure when you go through things that are not totally fair. That takes a lot of Jesus. It does for me. It does for me. But you know, I find this scripture so important. Never once did we try to win you with flattery, as you well know, and God knows we were not just pretending to be your friends so that you would give us money. Let that kind of dishonesty not be found in your heart. Always keep your heart pure before the Lord. As for praise, he says here, we have never asked for it from you or anyone else, although as apostles of the Lord Jesus, we certainly had a right to some honor from you. But we were as gentle among you as mothers feeding and caring for her own children. We loved you dearly, so dearly, that we gave you not only God's message, but our own lives too. I want to encourage you. Live with an honest heart. Don't live for dishonest gain. Live with an honest heart. Have a sweet, good heart. And whatever you do, do it as unto the Lord. And I guarantee you, even if you may be like Jacob. Jacob worked so hard for Laban, his father-in-law. And his father-in-law, I mean, my goodness, what darkness, cheated him 10 times. But God blessed him despite of what Laban did to him. God prospered him. So even if you're in a situation that is maybe not easy to bear, let God use it to mature you and purify your heart, purify your motives, purify your intentions, and cause you to be meek and good of nature and heart in what you do. And I guarantee you, God will prosper you, and God will bless you and bring you into a place of great success. I love you, and God bless you.